Las Vegas, June 28, 1997, 11:06 p.m. Round 3 of the rematch between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. The fight that was supposed to restore Tyson's legacy is about to become his greatest shame. Tyson has just bitten a piece of Evander Holyfield's ear off. The crowd is in chaos. The referee is assessing the damage. Holyfield is jumping around the ring in pain and shock, blood pouring down the side of his head. His corner rushes to him. The ring doctor examines the injury. A chunk of cartilage is missing from his right ear, bitten clean off. The doctor wraps it in gauze, asks Holyfield if he can continue. This is the moment that defines everything that follows. Holyfield, standing there with his ear bleeding, wrapped in white gauze, looks at his corner, looks at the doctor, looks at the referee Mills Lane. He should say no, should end this immediately, should refuse to continue a fight where his opponent is biting him like an animal. But Holyfield is a warrior, has been fighting his entire life, grew up poor in Atlanta, fought his way to the top through discipline and faith. He's not going to quit because Mike Tyson lost his mind. He tells the doctor he can continue. Mills Lane deducts 2 points from Tyson, a severe penalty, but not a disqualification. The fight resumes. Holyfield is still processing what happened, still in shock, but he's boxing, staying professional, keeping his composure despite the insanity. Then it happens again. Another clinch. Tyson bites Holyfield's left ear. Not as severe as the first time, but unmistakable, deliberate, intentional. This is when everything changes. This is when Holyfield reaches his limit. He pushes Tyson away violently, starts walking toward him, ready to abandon all rules, ready to brawl. His face shows something different now. Not just pain or shock. Anger. Pure, righteous anger. The anger of someone who played by the rules while his opponent became a savage. His corner rushes in. Security pours into the ring. Mills Lane immediately disqualifies Tyson. The fight is over. Holyfield has won by disqualification, retained his title. But as they're escorting him back to his corner, as doctors are examining both ears now, as the arena descends into complete chaos with fans throwing bottles and debris, Holyfield says something to his trainer, says it clearly, firmly, with absolute conviction. This can't continue. 3 words that will define the aftermath. Not just about the fight, about Tyson's career, about boxing's tolerance for violence outside the rules, about consequences. In the locker room afterward, Holyfield is getting medical treatment. Both ears are damaged, the right ear severely. Doctors are preparing to transport him to the hospital. They've recovered the piece of ear that Tyson bit off. It's on ice. They'll try to reattach it surgically. But Holyfield isn't focused on his injuries. He's talking to his team, to the athletic commission representatives who've come to check on him, to the reporters who are allowed in briefly. He says it again. This can't continue. This can't be allowed in boxing. This can't be who we are. His trainer asks what he means. Holyfield says, Tyson needs to face real consequences, not just losing the fight. Real consequences. He crossed a line that can never be crossed. If boxing allows this, if we just move on, then we're saying anything goes. We're saying there are no rules, no standards, no line you can't cross. The words carry weight because of who's saying them. Evander Holyfield, the victim, the man with pieces of both ears missing, isn't calling for revenge. He's calling for accountability, for justice, for the system to work the way it's supposed to work. The press conference happens an hour later. Holyfield sits at a table covered with microphones, his head wrapped in white gauze, both ears bandaged. Blood has seeped through on the right side. He looks like a wounded soldier, but his demeanor is calm, composed, almost eerily peaceful given what he just experienced. A reporter asks how he's feeling. Holyfield says, physically, he's okay. The pain is manageable. Emotionally, he's processing. Says he's never experienced anything like this in boxing. Never imagined a professional fighter would do something so far outside the rules. Another reporter asks if he thinks Tyson should be banned from boxing. Holyfield pauses, chooses his words carefully, says, I believe in forgiveness. I believe in second chances. But I also believe in consequences. What Mike did tonight can't be tolerated. Can't be excused. Can't be minimized. This can't continue. Boxing has to stand for something. Has to have standards. If we don't hold people accountable for crossing lines, then the lines don't mean anything. Someone asks if he'll ever fight Tyson again. Holyfield says no. Says firmly and clearly that he's done with Mike Tyson. Says he beat him twice legitimately. Once by knockout. Once by disqualification when Tyson couldn't handle losing like a professional. Says there's nothing left to prove. Says any future fight would just be about money. And he's not interested in that. The next day, June 29th, Holyfield undergoes surgery. Doctors successfully reattach the piece of his right ear. The left ear requires stitches, but less intensive treatment. He's told both ears will heal, but will carry permanent scars. Permanent reminders of June 28, 1997. While Holyfield is in surgery, the Nevada State Athletic Commission announces an emergency meeting. They're convening to discuss Mike Tyson's boxing license, to determine what consequences he'll face. The pressure is enormous. The incident is worldwide news. Front page of every major newspaper, leading every television newscast. International coverage. This isn't just a sports story. This is a cultural moment. A test of whether institutions will enforce their own rules when powerful, wealthy, famous people break them. Holyfield releases a statement through his publicist that afternoon. It's short but powerful. Says, "I hope the Nevada Commission does what's right, not what's easy, not what's profitable. What's right. Mike Tyson bit me twice in a boxing match broadcast to millions. If that doesn't result in serious consequences, then nothing matters. Rules don't matter. Standards don't matter. This can't continue." The statement puts direct pressure on the commission, makes it impossible for them to minimize what happened, makes it clear that one of boxing's most respected champions is watching, expecting accountability, demanding justice. On June 30th, Tyson appears before the commission for a preliminary hearing. He apologizes, says he was frustrated by the headbutts, says he lost control, says it won't happen again. His lawyers argue for leniency, say he was provoked, say he should keep his license with conditions, say banning him would hurt boxing financially, hurt Nevada financially. The commission takes statements from witnesses, from officials who were ringside, from doctors who treated Holyfield, from Holyfield's team. Everyone confirms the same story. Tyson bit Holyfield twice, deliberately, with full intent, with no justification under any rules of boxing. The commission announces they'll make a final decision within 10 days. The waiting period is agonizing, for Tyson, who needs his license to earn money, for boxing, which needs to know if it still has standards, for the public watching to see if fame and wealth create immunity from consequences. During this time, Holyfield gives several interviews. Every single one he's asked about Tyson, about the bite, about what should happen. His answer is consistent, always measured, always calm, always calling for accountability. In one interview, he's asked if he has personal animosity toward Tyson. Holyfield says no, says he doesn't hate Mike Tyson, doesn't wish him harm, but says loving someone or feeling compassion for them doesn't mean accepting their behavior, doesn't mean enabling their worst impulses. Says the most loving thing boxing can do for Mike Tyson is hold him accountable, force him to face consequences, force him to understand that actions have prices that must be paid. On July 9, 1997, the Nevada State Athletic Commission announces their decision. The hearing room is packed, media from around the world. Tyson sits with his legal team. Holyfield isn't there, but has sent a representative. The commission chairman reads the decision. Mike Tyson's boxing license is revoked. He's fined $3 million, the maximum allowed by law. He's banned from applying for reinstatement for at least 1 year. The decision is unanimous. All 5 commissioners voted for the harshest penalty available. The chairman explains their reasoning, says Tyson's actions were premeditated, were repeated even after warning, showed complete disregard for the rules of boxing, showed disrespect for his opponent, showed contempt for the sport itself, says allowing such behavior to go unpunished would destroy boxing's credibility, would tell the world that anything goes, that violence outside the rules is acceptable, that fame creates immunity, says this can't continue. can't be tolerated, won't be excused. Tyson's face shows no emotion. His lawyers immediately announce they'll appeal, but everyone knows the decision will stand. The commission did what Holyfield asked, what the situation demanded, what justice required. The financial consequences for Tyson are immediate and catastrophic. The $3 million fine is just the beginning. Without a boxing license, he can't fight, can't earn the tens of millions per fight that fund his lifestyle. His expenses don't stop. He has dozens of people on payroll, houses to maintain, cars, jewelry, legal fees. He's spending millions per month. Without income, the mathematics are simple. He's going broke. Endorsement deals that were being discussed vanish. Companies want nothing to do with him. The image of him biting Holyfield's ear is too toxic, too violent, too impossible to rehabilitate for marketing. His reputation, already damaged by rape conviction and prison time, is now completely destroyed. He's not seen as a troubled athlete anymore. He's seen as dangerous, uncontrollable, someone who can't be trusted in any setting. Boxing historians and commentators analyze the decision. Most agree the commission had no choice. Tyson crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. But some argue it's too harsh, say Tyson is being made an example, say the punishment doesn't fit the crime. Holyfield responds to these criticisms in an interview, says gently but firmly that the punishment absolutely fits the crime, says biting someone twice in a boxing match is assault, is battery, would result in criminal charges if it happened on the street, says Tyson is fortunate he's only facing a license revocation and fine instead of jail time. Says anyone arguing this is too harsh doesn't understand the severity of what happened, doesn't respect the rules that make boxing a sport instead of street fighting. Over the following months, Tyson's life spirals. Without boxing, without structure, without purpose, he makes bad decisions, gets in legal trouble, altercations, reckless behavior. His finances deteriorate rapidly. He's burning through his savings, selling assets, taking loans. The empire he built is collapsing. Holyfield, meanwhile, continues his career successfully. Fights and wins, maintains his dignity, becomes even more respected in boxing circles. Not just for his skills, but for his character, for how he handled the Tyson situation, for calling for accountability while maintaining grace. In October 1998, 16 months after the bite, Tyson applies for license reinstatement. He has to appear before the Nevada Commission again, has to show he's changed, has to prove he deserves another chance. This time, he's more genuine, more humble, talks about therapy, about anger management, about understanding what he did wrong, about accepting responsibility. Holyfield is asked by reporters if he thinks Tyson should get his license back. He surprises people by saying yes, says Tyson has served his punishment, says everyone deserves a second chance, says he hopes Tyson has learned, has grown, has become better. The commission reinstates Tyson's license with conditions. He can fight again, can earn money again, can rebuild his career. When Tyson returns to boxing, one of his first public statements is thanking Evander Holyfield. Says Holyfield could have destroyed him completely, could have pressed criminal charges, could have sued civilly for millions, could have campaigned to keep him banned forever, but didn't. Showed mercy while demanding accountability, showed grace while insisting on justice. Years later, in 2009, Tyson appears on Oprah, talks about the lowest points of his life, says the ear bite is one of his deepest regrets, says he was out of control, says he was angry at the world and took it out on Holyfield, says Holyfield didn't deserve it, says he's grateful Holyfield forgave him eventually. In 2014, Tyson and Holyfield appear together in a commercial. Tyson jokingly offers Holyfield a piece of his ear-shaped gummy candy. They laugh. The reconciliation is complete, public, symbolic. But it doesn't erase history, doesn't undo what happened, doesn't remove the consequences Tyson faced. This can't continue, Holyfield said after the bite. He was right. It didn't continue. The system worked. Justice happened. Tyson paid the price, lost his license, lost millions, lost his reputation for over a year, faced real consequences for crossing a line that can never be crossed. That's the story. Not about revenge, about accountability, about a victim who demanded justice while maintaining dignity, about a system that worked when pressure was applied correctly, about consequences that changed a life and restored faith that rules still matter. Evander Holyfield could have been bitter, could have been vengeful, could have used his position as victim to destroy Mike Tyson permanently. He didn't. He called for accountability, for consequences, for justice. And when justice was served, he showed grace. That's why his words mattered. Why "this can't continue" became a rallying cry for boxing to enforce its standards. Why Mike Tyson faced the price he deserved to pay.